Hello guys. So this is the first video that I'm making on this channel, and I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about something. Over the last few years, we've been able to see that all these legendary companies such as Ruger, Smith & Wesson, and Colt, and even Sig Sauer are all having quality control issues. And none of those companies are taking accountability for it because they keep sending stuff out the door that once the customer gets it, it's just like disappointment and a lot of extra time that you have to spend sending the gun back to get fixed, getting it back, and then taking it to the range to find that it still has the same issues. So with this gun in particular, this is the Tailo exclusive high polish GP-100, as you can see here. And when I went to go pick this gun up, I was super excited. This is my very first Ruger firearm ever. And I've had multiple revolvers, Smith & Wessons, mostly Colts. And this is my first Ruger. And so I was super excited. And when I took it to the range, it was having cylinder binding issues. And as well as you can see, listen to this. It's got a super squeaky hammer, and when you would fire full power 357s through this thing, the cylinder and trigger would get stuck. So it would not allow me to open the cylinder to take out the spent casings. And so at first I thought, okay, this is just a new gun, needs to be lubed up. So I put a bunch of oil in here, firearm oil, of course, and I cleaned it like 3 times, and I kept oiling it and kept, working the mechanism to get all the oil down in there, and then it fired just fine. But then I started to notice something. If you look at this barrel, this thing is canted 3 ways from Sunday. I was having issues getting the gun to shoot accurately, sit it down on a table rest, and fire from a resting position, not standing up offhand. It would shoot high left. And so I wondered what was going on. And as you can kind of see here, on the left side, there's less of a gap there as opposed to the right side. There's more gap. And right there, that's a perfect angle. You can see this barrel is canted left. Now keep in mind, I paid $1,050 before taxes for this gun. And this is going to get sent back to Ruger, and hopefully they can rectify the situation here with the binding, the squeaky hammer, and the canted barrel. Maybe they can fix that for me. But this is not the only gun that I've had these issues with. Maybe I can overlay some footage here, but I used to have a 3-inch Colt Python. I've also had the 6-inch Colt Python. I've also had 2 of the Colt Vipers and 1 of the Colt King Cobra target model. And so I've had quite a few Colts, and only 1 of those did not have any issues. So with the Colts, I had an issue with the 6-inch where the cylinder stop would not, it would engage, but the little part in here that is connected to the cylinder stop, when you release the trigger, it wouldn't fully engage, and so the trigger would click after every round was fired. It would like stop and then click back into position. And so that was weird, and so I personally took it upon myself to take the side plate off and get rid of all the burrs that were on this little part in here. I don't know what it's called, but there were burrs there keeping it from engaging smoothly. I got that fixed, no problems. But then I got the 3-inch model, and the 3-inch Python, what happened was on the side plate in this area, the hand that clocks the cylinder had burrs in it. And so when I would cock the hammer, the cylinder would not spin. And also when I would pull the trigger, the cylinder would not spin. It's because the hand was not engaging the cylinder, because there were burrs in the part that connects to the hand that lifts the hand to rotate the cylinder. So those are a couple of issues I've had. And also with the Smith & Wessons, I didn't really have any issues per se, other than they were just god awful triggers. Like it felt like there were rocks in the gun. When you pull the trigger, it's just so gritty. And so I wasn't a fan of that. I only owned 2 of those and got rid of them immediately. But now when we come to this gun, I was super excited for it. I've heard all of this legendary stuff about Ruger GP-100s being the most durable, the most reliable revolvers out there. And my very first one I get, I'm having all these issues. And that's not necessarily a knock against Ruger. It's really all firearms companies in general. They are not taking the time to put effort into making sure that their firearms are 100% operational in time and don't have any defects before it leaves the warehouse. I kind of have a couple of ideas why that might be. You know, whenever Smith & Wesson came out with the mountain guns, there were so many issues being reported with those. What I think happened was, so Smith & Wesson has 2 different departments, right? They got the semi-autos and then the revolver department. The same people are not making both of those. So they got 2 different departments making the firearms, as well as with Colt and Ruger. And so what I think is happening is, since semi-autos are getting a lot more business and sales, they have a lot more people working in that department and less people working in the revolver department. And so things get overlooked, corners get cut because they're lower staffed. They probably don't have as much expertise as they do in semi-autos. And so I'm thinking that that's what's causing the issues with these revolvers being put out and having issues. That being said, I really hope that this can get fixed because this is a beautiful piece. I absolutely love it. And when I was shooting this gun with full power 357s and 38s, it was so manageable. It was so comfortable. This is like the only gun that I would really like to keep with a 4-inch barrel on a revolver. It's so perfect. I just wish these little kinks should be worked out and I'll be 100% happy with it. But until then, I'll update you guys whenever I get the gun back and we'll go from there.